हेलो एवरीवन। सो आज का हमारा क्वेश्चन है मूव्स ज़ीरो। इस क्वेश्चन में हमें क्या गिवन है, हमें एक नम्स एरे गिवन है और हमें जितने भी ज़ीरो हैं प्रेजेंट हैं उस नम में हमें उसको एंड में मूव करवाना है वाइल मेंटेनिंग द रिलेटिव ऑर्डर ऑफ द नॉन ज़ीरो एलिमेंट्स। मीन्स हमें जो ऑर्डर है वो क्या रखना है, सेम रखना है। नेक्स्ट यहाँ पे एक पॉइंट दिया है कि वी कैन नॉट यूज़ कॉपी ऑफ द एरे। दिस क्वेश्चन विल बी बिकम सिंपलर इफ़ वी गोना यूज़ कॉपी एरे। तो उसमें क्या होगा, उसमें हम जस्ट सिंपल ट्रैवर्स करेंगे हमारे ओरिजिनल एरे में। अगर हमें कोई नॉन ज़ीरो एलिमेंट मिलता है हम जस्ट उसको पुट करवा देंगे हमारे कॉपी एरे में और रिमेनिंग एलिमेंट्स को, रिमेनिंग इंडेक्स को वी गोना फिल इट विद ज़ीरो। बट यहाँ पे वी कैन नॉट यूज़ दैट अप्रोच। एंड अनदर थिंग इज़ दैट वी हैव टू मेंटेन द रिलेटिव ऑर्डर ऑफ द non-zero elements. So let's try to understand what is the relative order of the non-zero elements. So if we consider this example, in this 0 is present at 0 and second index of the array. So if I have to move 0 towards the end, so my resultant array will be look like this. So if we see, we can clearly see the order. As in the input array, 1 comes before the 3 and 3 comes before the 12. So in the output array also 1 come before the 3 and 3 come before the 12. So here we are maintaining the relative order. So let's try to do it with the basic approach, the approach which will come to the mind as first is we're gonna sort them out. But here there is a catch, we have to maintain the relative order, so we can't use sorting approach here. Why? So for this example sorting will work fine, but let's consider another test case. Suppose 0 4 0 3. Now what will be happen if we're gonna sort them out? The simple is 0 0 3 and 4. Now the order of the non-zero elements are changed. We can clearly see in the input array 4 is coming before the 3, but in the output array 4 is coming after the 3. So this approach will not work here as the order is not maintaining. So let's try to cover it with some another approach. Let's start with another approach. What else we can do? We can maintain the pointers. Pointers how? We can use I pointer and one j pointer to track the indexes which contain 0 element and index which contain non-zero element. So our I pointer will start from the 0 index and our j pointer will start from the first index. So in the first round what we gonna check? We gonna check if our ith element is 0 and our jth element is non-zero, we gonna swap them out. Then we gonna increase the index. So in the first, let's dry run this 1 0 12. So for the very beginning our I will be here and j will be here. So first we encounter with the I is 0 and j is non-zero, we gonna swap them out. So our result would be like this. After swapping the element, we just increment both of the counter as we are check with our 0th. For the very first index we are placed with the non-zero element. So let's move our I pointer to next and j pointer to the next element to check. Now here is a catch. If both I and j are 0 element, so we're gonna just simply increase our jth pointer. We're gonna simply increase our jth pointer because if we gonna increase I, then again both of them will stuck in a loop where we have to check again and again I and j are 0, so they will gonna swap with each other continuously and loop will not break and our code will not run. So the simple solution for this is just simply move j pointer to next. Now our j points to 3. Again I is 0 and j is non-zero element. We gonna swap them. So our result would be 1, 3, 0, 0, 12. Now previously our I is placing at the place of 3 and j is present. J is pointing at this place. So now we gonna simply increment both I and j pointer. Now our I pointer will be point to second index and our j pointer will point to the fifth index, like fourth index, like last of the length. So again we gonna check these both are non-zero, these both are not matching to each other, so we're gonna swap them out. So our result would be 1, 3, 12, 0, 0. We will run this loop till our j is less than the length of array. Once our j will be reached to the end, we gonna break this loop and come out of the loop. So we are done with the approach. Let's erase them all and start coding. Okay, so let's start coding. So we will initialize our two pointers, first with 0 and second with 1. So we will run the loop while our j pointer is less than the length of our nums array. First we check if our ith element is not equal to 0. What we can do, we can simply increase the I pointer. Else, suppose our I is this and j points to this. Now I is not a 0, so we can simply increase our I to next. Now another condition is that for the swapping condition, if I is 0 and nums jth index element is not 0, non-zero, we're gonna swap them out. So let's take a temporary variable which store our 0th element, and in place of 0 element we're gonna place non-zero element, and in place of non-zero element we're gonna place 0 and increase both the pointers. Else, if both of them I and jth index both of them are 0, we simply increase our jth pointer and return our nums array. Why we are returning our original array? Because we didn't do any changes in that, we just simply swapping the elements out. So let's try to run. Okay, we go. Now submit this. Okay, yes, here we go. I hope you like the video. Thanks for watching.